Hey everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. Getting a new car can be quite an exciting feeling, and in this excitement, many of us we forget to do one of the most basic part of getting a new car, which is the pre-delivery inspection. So today, let's just go through a checklist of most or the major points to be kept in mind while doing the pre-delivery inspection of a vehicle. Now, the pre-delivery inspection is actually a two-part process. One, the pre-registration inspection, which is done when the dealer calls you saying that the vehicle has arrived at the yard. And the second being the pre-delivery inspection, which is done just before you collect or on the day you go to collect your vehicle. Now, both these inspections are equally important. Let's say you want to put in accessories in the car, and from the time the vehicle has arrived to the yard to the time it's got accessories put on and you have gone to collect your vehicle goes through a lot in between this time. So it's best to do this inspection in two parts, and it's even better to document or record video or photos of the vehicle as you go along, so that in case there is any uh, manufacturing defect or something which is done from the dealer's end, you can always have a visual proof of it. Now, a few prerequisites for the pre-delivery inspection. Number one, always carry out your inspection in bright daylight. It just makes it so much easier to spot any defect. Uh, Second, carry someone along. It's always better to have someone else's point of view, and it's also going to help in making the inspection a little quicker. Uh, Third is carry a phone. I mean, these days everyone has phones with camera, but make sure you carry a camera along and you document the whole process by taking many pictures and videos as you go along. So, without much delay, let's see some of the most basic aspects of the pre-delivery inspection. Now, to make this process a little simpler, I have divided it into a few parts. The first being the exterior, where we check the exterior of the vehicle. The second, we go to the interiors and check that out. The third is the electricals. And the fourth, I would say miscellaneous, but it's equally important as all the other parts. So let's start off with the exterior. While inspecting the exterior of the vehicle, again, you want to take one section at a time. Like I will be taking this door first, then I'll go to the fender, and then the bumper, the bonnet, headlights, and so on. So while we are at it, we will be looking at the tires, and we'll just come clockwise or counterclockwise to the same point where we have started. While observing a particular section, again, you want to divide that into smaller sections. For example, if I am doing this portion here, I will first divide it into this bulge portion here, then maybe go on to this, and then the lower portion. Similar with the door, I will first observe this section and then the flatter portions. Now, when we are observing a particular section, you want to see it from different angles. If I were inspecting this particular section, I would first look at from this angle, and then maybe from this side, and maybe from the top. So the aim here is to just try to find any imperfection or a small dent or maybe a dimple mark or even minor scratches that must have come onto the body during transport or while handling the car. Now here is where you will appreciate getting someone along, is if in case you have missed out on a certain scratch someone else might spot it for you. So it's always best to have someone along. Now, while we are inspecting the exterior of the car, it's a good idea to take a picture of the vehicle identification number there. And in Scorpio-N, the location of chassis number is here, so you can have a look at that too. And next we will just look at the condition of all the tires. All the tires must be of the same brand, including the spare wheel. And the tire which comes fitted from the factory is usually manufactured a few weeks before the car is manufactured. Now, to check that, on the tire, look for this DOT mark and come down, and this number gives the manufacturing date of the tire. 3122 here means 31st week of 2022. Now my car is manufactured in August, and 31st week is, I think, in July. So that's how you see whether the tires have come fitted from the factory or not. And you just want to look at all the lines. They should feel consistent everywhere. And if you have any doubt, if you feel that some of the gaps are not consistent, you can always check the other vehicle to see if is that from the manufacturing end, or is there any misalignment in the panels. So all these gaps should feel consistent. Lastly, in inspecting the exterior of the vehicle, you want to open all the doors, check for any squeaks or any sound that comes in, and shut them. They should shut securely, and you have to do this even for the bonnet and for the tailgate as well. Also, when you're looking at the exterior, make sure the physical lock that you have is operational and is good to use. Now, once we are done with the exterior of the car, let's move on to the interior. In interior, also, we have divided into few compartments. The first, we will do the driver's side, then we'll move on to the passenger side, then we'll do the middle row, and then the last row, and finally the boot. Now, the concept is going to be same for the entire interior. What we are trying to look for is the fit and finish of all the plastic parts. We are particularly interested in the edges and the space where the two plastics merge. All the gaps there should feel consistent. For example, these two plastic parts are here, this line, all these lines. And if your car is having these smaller plastics, it's always best to see if they are tight or not. Similar, we are going to look at all the edges here, and these gaps, these should all feel consistent. And we are going to do this for the entire car. In the passenger side, we are going to look at the glove box. If it opens and closes nicely, then we're going to just look at all the AC vents. It should be very smooth in operation. And basically, we are going to check out all the plastic parts in the interiors, and we're going to do it for the whole car. Once you have switched on the car, you want to make sure all the electricals, all the major electricals are working fine. You want to look at all the lights. You want to look at all the lights, the low beam, high beam, the hazard lamp to check the indicators. You want to check the horn, whether it's working fine or not. And at the same time, you also want to check the wipers. To check the wipers, just raise them up. As a new car, it might be quite dusty. If you're stored outside and you don't want to get any scratches, just operate at different speeds and see if the wiper is working fine or not, and that should do it. Next, you want to check the infotainment system. You want to switch it on and play some song or radio on it to check all the speakers. You want to see various features in the infotainment system. Just briefly go through all of it. If your car has sunroof, it's best to see all the operations of the sunroof and if it's functioning smoothly or not. If the car comes with power driver seat, you just want to operate it and just see if it's working smoothly. You want to check the one tumble operation of the seats. You want to look at all the lights that are there in the car, and they should be functional. To finish off the interior, we'll just look if the hazard triangle, the jack, and in case your car comes with a puncture repair kit and the tools needed to change the tire, if that is present or not. Now these things are what I would put in the miscellaneous sections, but these are very important. You want to open the bonnet or the hood, and inside should be sparkling clean. You want to check the battery. If you want to check the health of the battery, I have done a separate video on that. I'm gonna put the link in the description. You can check it out from that. You want to check the engine oil level by removing this dipstick. The engine oil should be near transparent and little pale yellowish in color for any new car. You want to check all the fluids, whether they are up to the optimum mark or not. Basically, you just want to inspect the entire engine bay to see in case the car has been stored for a long time at the yard, any damage due to rats or any such thing. When you start the car, make sure to note down the odometer reading and make sure to verify it at the time you collect your car. Ideally, a car it should have be done less than around 30 or 40 kilometers once it's out from the factory. Anything more than 50, and you can always question the dealer as to why the car has run so much. Once we are done with the thorough inspection of the exterior, interior, and the engine compartment and on the electricals, what we would like to do is take the car out for a spin. Even a kilometer or two should do. Take the car for a small drive. Make sure to switch on the AC and operate the temperatures in both zones. You also want to make it cold and hot to see if it's working fine or not. Check the fan. There should be no abnormal sound coming from the fan. Use it at various speeds. Also, it's best to off any music that's being played and just to observe the sound of the engine for if it's too loud or if there's any abnormal sound that is coming. Once you're driving the car, just try to observe if there is any abnormal sound coming when it goes on a bad section of road. You want to see if the suspension is working quietly or not. And you just want to observe for any unwanted sound or rattle that might be creeping into the cabin. And once you're done driving the car, it's always a good idea to just open the hood again and see in case if there is any leakage issue. You can also check below for leakage of any oils. Now, once you're done with the pre-registration inspection, it doesn't end here. In case you have asked for any accessories yeah, on the day of delivery, you want to do this quick inspection again. It's not going to take very long on the day of delivery since you have already done it once. Lastly, you want to talk to the dealer regarding your warranty and the insurance and the process of claiming insurance. And in case you plan to modify the car, it's a good idea to just ask him as to what effect it will have on your warranty and insurance. So that is what a checklist of a pre-delivery inspection, or in general any car inspection, should look like. Now there were a lot of things to go through. In case I have missed out any, please let me know in the comments below. uh, Share this video with anyone getting a new car, and if you enjoyed the content, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next one.